This video is yoga for sciatica. Hi, my name's Jessie, and today we are going to go through a yoga sequence that you can use if you are experiencing sciatica. To begin, we can just start off by sitting in a comfortable seated position. Some of the props that you may need is a block and a strap, or the equivalent of either one. Doesn't have to be super fancy. You can start just by bringing the soles of your feet together. We will start off in Baddha Konasana, the bound angle pose. So in order to do this one, we can just push the soles of our feet together and engage our glutes. What this does is it allows us to effectively open up our feet and our hips without forcing the deal, by making it a little bit more passive, by pushing the heels together, engaging our glutes. Sit up nice and tall, inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. And just hold. Good job. And whenever you are ready, you can just bring your legs to a comfortable seated position. Bring the right hand back behind the hips, fingers pointed out, left hand on the right knee. Sit up tall, engage the glutes. Just gently turn to the right side. Looking over that right shoulder, sit up tall on the in-breath. Exhale, relax and release. Inhale, engage the core, sit up tall. Exhale, relax and release. One more. Exhale, relax and release. Nice job. Switch sides. Come to the left side now. Bring the left hand back behind the hips, fingers pointed out, right hand on the left knee. Sit up really tall. On the in-breath, engage the core. Exhale, relax and release. And two more. Just inhale, sit up tall, keep that core engaged. Exhale, relax and release. Just let it go. Slowly come back to center. Well done. Next, we can come to the center of the mat. Just come onto the hands and knees. We can move through some cat-cows. Just bring the hands right under the shoulders, spread the fingers out nice and wide, have the knees right under the hips. On your exhale, we can bring the hips in, slowly arch the spine, bring the chin to chest. Inhale, come up, lift the hips, slowly unroll the spine, lift the head. Keep the core engaged to protect the spine. And then exhale, roll in again. Inhale, come back up. If you want, you can play around with some internal rotation, taking the arms with the elbow creases and spinning them in towards the belly button. And maybe even trying to do the same thing with the legs. We'll do one more. Inhale, come back up. Good job. And we are just going to get ready for downward facing dog. We just want to tuck the toes under, look back behind us to make sure our feet have disappeared. That way we're on the same plane. Line the hands and the knees up and tuck the toes under. Bring the hips up. Hips come up, shoulders come down. Draw the low floating ribs in and pedal the feet back and forth, back and forth. Just go ahead, walk your feet up. Make your way into a forward fold. At this point, you may need to use your block. That is a matter of preference, but we want to try and have our legs straight and just sink into the pose. Relax and release on the exhale. Come up halfway, lift and lengthen. Try to have your shoulder blades come together. Engage the quadricep muscles. Lift the kneecaps. Try to have the head in line with the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Slowly bring yourself up, one vertebrae at a time. Bring the arms up on the in-breath. Look up at the hands. Exhale, bring the hands to prayer position, heart center. Inhale, come up again. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold forward, reach towards the toes. If you can't reach your toes, by all means, use a block. And then just pedal the feet back and forth. Come up halfway, lift and lengthen. And this is where you want to bring the shoulder blades together like you're pinching a pencil between the shoulders. Try to engage the core, lengthen through the neck. Try to have the neck in the same line as the spine. And then without bending the knees, engage the quads, lift the kneecaps, exhale, just fold forward. Just hang out here. Maybe you can add some weight to your head by hugging your elbows. Just relax and release into the pose. Slowly roll yourself up, one vertebrae at a time. From here, we're going to take the left foot back, take a medium stance with our feet. We want the right toes pointed forward, the left toes pointed back. Or just kidding, the left toes pointed out at a 45-degree angle. And from here, you want to just bring your arms up nice and high, lift and lengthen, exhale, hinge from the hips, fold forward, reach towards that right leg. The trick here to pyramid pose is we want to keep both of our legs straight. Pull the right hip back. That might help you line up with the short side of the mat. Just let go, relax and release into the pose. Use your block if you need to. If you have trouble with stability in this pose, then maybe you want to put one hand on your block and one hand on your leg. Slowly come up. You can just bring your feet together, bring the arms up, lift and lengthen, hands together to prayer position. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold forward, reach towards your toes. Inhale, come up, lift and lengthen, engage the core, bring the shoulder blades together like you're trying to pinch a pencil between them. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale. Slowly roll yourself back up, one vertebrae at a time. Arms up, hands together. Exhale to prayer position, heart center. And then step the right foot back. Keep the left foot forward. The big toe should point forward on the left foot. The right toes can turn out to about a 45-degree angle. Line the hips up with the short side of the mat. And on the in-breath, lift the arms up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold forward, keep both legs straight. We could do an external rotation of this left leg here. Kneecap goes towards the ceiling. Maybe pulling that left hip back a bit so that we are lining the hips up with the short side of the mat. Just be very mindful and aware of how you hold your body. Slowly make your way back up. Bring your feet together. Bring the arms up on the in-breath. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Fold forward, reach towards the toes. Really working to keep the legs straight. So if that means you can't go down as far, that's fine. Just rest your hands on the block. And then from here, we're going to plant the hands under the shoulders, step back to downward facing dog. Hips up as high as you can get them. Draw the low floating ribs in. Push the shoulders down towards the ground and try to straighten your legs by pushing your heels towards the floor. Maybe pedal the feet back and forth. Make your way to plank or kneeling plank, whatever your body needs, and then just slowly bring yourself down to cobra pose. Move the block if you need to. Just have the hands under the shoulders, squeeze the elbows into the sides, push the pelvis into the floor, lifting your torso up. Just hold. Well done. And then just make your way back onto your hands and knees. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. The next thing that we're going to do is called thread the needle pose. So we want to make sure that our knees are right under our hips. We can come down to our forearms, and first we're just going to take the right forearm. We're going to take the hand and thread it underneath that left armpit. Come down to the right shoulder, the right side of the head. Pull the left hip back. We want to work to get our hips lined up with the short side of the mat. A modification for this is to come down to your hips to your heels. Just relax and release into this pose. Bring yourself back up. Switch sides, so maybe just come back up to the forearms. We're going to take the left hand, put it underneath that right armpit, palm faces up. We're going to just bring the left shoulder, left side of the head down to the mat and pull the right hip back. If it's comfortable, stretch that right arm out. If not, then bring the hips down towards the heels. Just relax and release. And come back to center. Just make your way back onto the mat. Good job. We are going to work on Gomukhasana pose now. This one can be modified. It can be a little bit awkward. You can grab a strap to begin with and get it ready. First and foremost, we're going to cross the right leg in front of us. Now, we just want to play around with it and see what we can and can't do. We want to keep the hips right on the mat. Bring the left heel over the right heel to the left hip. Left hip has the right heel right beside it. And then just bend the left leg. So an intermediate pose is to keep this left leg right here beside the right leg. So both are bent. You can start off just by sitting pretty with your hands on that left knee, or if you feel like bending yourself into a pretzel, you can stack that left hip on top of the right one, or the left leg, my goodness gracious. Flexing both of your feet in order to activate those legs, and then we're going to take the strap, maybe not, into that left hand. Maybe this is all that you want to do right now. Maybe that's enough. But if you want, you can take the left arm up, have the strap in that left arm, and then just bring that right hand up. So the palm faces away from you. Swing it up back behind your back. The trick to this one is you want to have your tricep aligned with your head. You want to have your head stacked nice and tall over your spine. Maybe your fingers can reach back behind your back. Maybe not. Odds are it's different from one side to the other. And when you go into this pose, you don't want to have your head at some funky angle in order to get your arm up here. But the end goal is to try to get your tricep straight up and down, lined up with your head, just nice and perpendicular. maybe even activating it by doing an external rotation of the tricep. Good job. And then slowly come out of the pose. Switch sides. We want to cross the left leg in front, the right leg on top. Flex the feet. This will protect your legs. Make sure that your sit bones are on the ground. And again, if this is not within the realm of possibility for you, by all means, just bend this right leg and just leave the leg up. Bring the foot right by the knee. And then put the strap in the right hand. Bring the left hand up, back behind the back. Sit up nice and tall. Have that right arm up parallel with your head. Try to have that tricep straight up and down. Have the spine stacked nice and tall over the hips, the head right over the spine. And breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Just relax and release into the pose on your exhale. This is what it should look like from the back. Just come back to the mat. Stretch the right leg out. Bend the left leg. Just line yourself up with the short side of the mat. Have the right toes pointed up towards the ceiling. We can bring the arms up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold forward, just reach towards the toes. Stretching out, folding forward into the posture. Relax and release on your exhale. Slowly walk your hands back up. Switch sides, stretch the left leg out, bend the right leg. On the in-breath, we can bring the arms up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, just fold forward, reach towards the toes. Relax and release on your exhale. Ground through the back of that left leg. Working to push the heel, knee, and hip into the mat. And then just walk your hands back up. We can lift the right leg up now, cross it over the left, bring that right hand back behind the hips, fingers pointed out, just wrap the arm around that bent right leg and turn to the right side. Left shoulder comes forward, right shoulder comes back. Just look over that right shoulder. Try to have the right hand in pretty close to the hips. That'll force you into sitting up tall. And relax, release into the pose on your exhale. Good job. Switch sides. Stretch the right leg out, bend the left leg. Cross the left leg over the right. Just turn to the left side. Have the left fingers pointed back behind you. Walk that left hand in close to the hips. Sit up tall on your in-breath. Engage your core. Relax and release on your exhale. Trying to bring that left shoulder back, the right shoulder forward. Slowly come back to center. Good job. Now we are going to come to the center of the mat. We're going to take the strap of doom and we're just going to put the right foot on the left leg. We're going to flex the foot. What that means is we pull the toes in towards the shin, making an L shape with the bottom of the foot. Go ahead, lift that left leg up. You can take your strap if you need to, put it on the back of the left leg. So we just made a number 4 with our legs. So we're going to put our right hand through the center of the number 4, Lace our fingers together on the back of that left leg. Just pull that leg in towards the chest. If you need to, you can bend that left leg and pull it in that way. Just make sure that we keep this right foot flexed. Relax and release into the posture. Good job. Switch sides. Bring that left ankle to the right leg. Flex the foot. So pull the toes in as close to the shin as you can, and then just bring that right leg up. Maybe you want to have the leg out nice and straight. Maybe you want to bend it. Just lace the fingers together on that right leg and pull that knee in towards your chest. Remember that we've made a number 4 with our legs. You want to take the left hand, put it through the center of the number 4, and then just pull that leg in towards your chest. Good job. Bring that right foot down, stretch it out. Keep the left leg bent. You can just stretch the left arm out to the left side. Bring that right hand to the left knee, guide it over that right leg. Make sure you keep the left shoulder on the ground. Turn your head off to look to the left side. Just breathing deeply. Slowly come back up. Switch sides, bend the right leg, stretch the left leg out. Take that left hand to guide that right knee over. Have the right arm stretched out to the right side. Just look off to the right side. Make sure that right shoulder stays on the ground. It might help to lift and twist the hips to the left side, but make sure that we keep the shoulder on the ground. That'll help us stay nice and stable. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Slowly come back up. And we can wrap up the practice with Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle pose. So if it feels good, just have your hands on your stomach, or you can have your arms stretched out along your sides with the palms facing up. Bring the soles of the feet together. We can make this more passive than we did initially, just allowing the knees to fall open. Let gravity do the work for you. And take a moment to close your eyes and stay with your breath. Just inhaling deeply. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. And find a moment of gratitude, finding 1 or 5 things to be grateful for. If you're in a lower energetic state, then gratitude can help you bridge the gap, taking you from sad or angry or frustrated to content, more happy, satisfied. And whenever you're ready, just bring yourself into a comfortable seated position. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you like this video, please feel free to like, subscribe, share. You can check me out on Instagram as well. And until next time, may love and light be yours. Namaste.